Hi guys, welcome to PG All-in-One. In today's video, we will learn how to file Trans-1, Tran-1 on GST website. So now type www.gst.govin.in in your browser. Now log in your GST website with your user ID and password. Now after logging in, go to service menu, then click on return option. Then you will see transaction form option. Click on it, then you will see a three option, that is Tran-1, Tran-2 and Tran-3. Click on Tran-1. Every registered person under GST who wants to take transactional credit as per transactional provision is required to fill Tran-1 within 90 days from appointed date, that is 20th September. But if you want to utilize transactional credit for making payment of taxes due for the month of July, then you require to fill Tran 1 before filing of summarize return of July, that is before filing GSTR 3B of July. The last date of filing Tran 1 for such person is August 28th. Transactional credit is available only if registered person has filed all the return for last 6 months as per previous law. Now select S option here if you have filed last 6 month return. If you have not filed the return for last 6 months, then transactional form will not be available for you. Now after that, click on blue box which say amount of tax credit carry forward, that is point 0.5 of transaction 1 is for claiming amount of tax credit which is to be carried forward from return file under earlier excise, VAT and service tax law. Now if you click on central tax, this is for now, if you click on central tax, this is for claiming credit of central tax, that is excise and service tax, which have to be carried forward as central tax in GST. Below you can see add detail button in blue color. Click on it. If you want to add a detail here, now enter your registration number of central excise or your service tax number, then select the period to which last return has was filed, that is July 2017 or any month for which your last return was filed. Then enter date of filing the return, enter the balance amount to be carry forward in last return, then how much amount is admissible as ITC in GST as a central tax. Means if some goods were allowed previously and but not allowed under GST has to be revised after putting SENVAT credit admissible. Then click on save button to save you the data which is in blue color. Now click on back button once data is saved. Now same way you have to enter the detail on state tax. Click on it. This is for claiming credit of state tax, that is VAT, which have to be carried forward as a state tax in GST. Now same way click on add detail button to enter details. Now here you have to enter details of entry tax details or VAT details, that is your registration number here. Then enter amount of input tax credit of VAT or entry tax as per last return. Then if you have C for pending, then mention the turnover of it. Then if you have to give details of C form, if you are carrying forward VAT input, then enter difference of tax payable on pending C form, then turnover for which F form are pending, then same way different of tax payable on pending F form. If you have any liability based on C form and F form, you have to revise based on ITC. It is for if forms are not available to you, then turnover for which H or I form are pending. Difference of tax payable on pending H or I form, then net transactional ITC you can carry forward. This means if you have input tax balance on return for VAT or entry tax, reverse the liability if you have any in C form, F form or H form or I form. Then the balance ITC you have to carry forward. Then click on save button and click on back button. Now statutory form. This is for a person who are registered under VAT and CST. Here you have required to fill detail of C form, F form and H form, I form which assessment is pending. There will be utility file available on this where you can enter details of C form, F form directly. Now click on back button. Now 6A, 6B. This is details of capital good for which credit has not been carried forward. 6A is for claiming unallowed credit of capital good which has not been carried forward under existing law. So click on add detail button, then you need to file invoice of document number, invoice of document date, then registration number of supplier under existing law, then your registration number under existing law, value of asset, then duty and tax paid, then enter CVD or SAD charges paid. Then we have to file total credit available from that invoice amount, then amount of credit available under existing law. Then after allowing you to enter here, you have to balance our amount available for standard credit which has to be claimed in GST. Similar way you have to enter state tax detail, that is 6B is for claiming unallowed credit of capital good which has not been carried forward under state VAT tax law or entry tax law. Here we require to file invoice number, invoice date and registration number of supplier from whom such capital goods are purchased. You also require to enter detail of invoice such as in amount, VAT or entry tax paid. Then has to file total credit available from that invoice or amount of credit allowed under existing law. Then enter the balance amount which has to be claimed under GST law. So this way you have to enter the amount and then click on save button. Now click on back button. Now we have to go to next, that is 7A, 7B, 7C and 7D. This is very important as it is on balance stock which you have to which you have as on 30th June, which you want to carry forward for the 1st July. This is also for a person who paid duty on input or input service before July 1, but goods were in transit and received after July 1. If invoice received after July 1, then you have to claim credit here. Now first is 7A. Detail of stock is required to be filled for claiming credit by SSC who are not registered in excise but registered in VAT or dealing in exempt good and excise or exempt service under service tax. So here we don't have to fill invoice wise detail, but you have to fill detail SCN code wise of stock. First enter SCN code, then enter unit, then quantity, then the invoice value of stock, then how much eligible duties paid on such stock. The duties paid is available on invoice or not. If invoices are available, then only you can take input here. You can have to select yes, but if you select no in duty invoice available, then you have to fill detail in Tran-2. Then select type of goods, whether the goods were input were or semi finished or finished good. So same way, after confirming your data, click on save button. Then again click on back button. Now we will go to 7B. This is for SSC who has paid duty on input or
input service before July 1, but goods were in transit and received after July 1. Click on add button. Here you have to enter invoice wise detail. You have to enter the registration number of supplier or input service distributor, then invoice number, then invoice date, description, then quantity, then UQC, then value, then eligible duties and tax, then date on which you have entered in the receipt book of account, and click on save button. Here you have to fill details on stock in transit. So if you have received stock after 30th June and if you have not taken input on it, then you can fill the detail here. Remember guys, you have to take this within 30 days of transit in book of account in order to get input credit. Now next one is 7C. Here you can carry forward over your VAT and entry tax. You have to fill detail in summarize similar way. Click on add detail button, then fill number, description, unit, quantity and value. Then select type of good. Then enter total input tax claim under earlier law. Then total input tax credit related to exempt sale not claim under earlier law. Then total input tax credit admissible as SGST or UTGST. Then click on save button. Now 7D. Here you have to enter detail of stock of goods available with you, and number, then description, then unit, quantity, value of tax paid on goods available with you. Now click on save button and then click on back button. Now is 8. The detail of transfer of SEMET credit for registered person having centralized registration under existing law. If any ISD want to distribute credit between the registered person under GST having same PAN, here you have to enter register number, then the last return filing date, then date of return filing, then the balance eligible for SEMET credit carried forward in last return, then GSTN IN of receiver to whom credit is transferred. Remember, PAN number should be same. And then how much ITC transfer of central tax X, then invoice number, then date, then click on save button. Now then move to next one, that is 9. That is 9A and 9B. This is details of goods sent to job work and held in stock on behalf of principal. This is not relevant to every person. The person who has sent stock and you have not received the detail, then you have to fill this. Now suppose you have given your job work to some person and then you have to enter here detail of that, that is challan number, challan date, then type of goods, then GST number of job worker if available. This is not compulsory. Then fill detail of goods with job workers. Here you have to fill SCN code wise detail. You can add a item as much you want by clicking on add item button, then click on save button. Same way, you can fill details of stock held on behalf of principal. A similar way, you enter the stock held by you from job work. Now, 10th one is for agent. Register under VAT who have held good on behalf of principal. They are required to fill GSTN of principal along with description of goods, unit, quantity, value of such good. So same way as an agent you have to fill the detail. Now the 11th one. This is for SEC who are dealing in item on which both VAT and service tax is applicable, and now GST is to be levied on supply of such goods. They have to be fill the registration number of VAT, then service tax, invoice number, tax paid, whose credit is to be taken. Such way you have to fill 11 column. Then now 12th one is for SEC who send goods on approval not before 6 months prior to July 1st. If such goods are received back within the 6 months, if July 1, no tax will be levied under GST. Therefore, they have to fill document number and date which is used to send goods on approval. Also, no, he has to. We have to required to mention name and GST and number of the recipient to whom goods sent. We also require to fill the detail of such goods as exchange code wise, then description of goods, unit, quantity, and value. After filling all detail in above transform, you can submit it. Please note that no modification is allowed after submitting this form. After submitting it, it has to be filled with OTP received on the registered mobile number, or it can be filed by signing through your digital signature. Thank you guys for watching. Hope this will help you in filling your Tran-1 details. Hope guys this will help you in preparing your Tran-1 form. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit like button and subscribe PG All in One.